Hello there. And before any speech I ever make, I always acknowledge my Lord Jesus Christ, because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you. And when I come knocking on him to let me in. I also acknowledge my wife, Julie, because she's in this race with me, and it's been a tough race. It's been a tough race. And they've spent right now almost $60 million against me. Can you believe it? $60 million against me. But we have a good God, don't we? So for a moment like this, that's the reason God has prepared me. And I tell everyone, because I was one of those kids that wasn't supposed to make it. Because everyone know the glory, but they don't know my story. And I have a story to tell. Because of the grace of God, I had a chance to go to college. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to play in the NFL. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to be on the Olympic team. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to build my company. But when God is getting you prepared, sometimes he has to break you to build you. So coming from a kid that's never drank before in my life, never tasted beer, never had alcohol, never taken a drug before in my life. They told me I had a mental problem. And I'm like, Herschel Walker got a mental problem? I'm talking about myself in third person, but I know that. And so I found out that something was wrong, and from my family, when something is wrong, you go get it taken care of. So I went to the hospital, and I remember sitting in my first group session, and I'm looking out, and I'm saying, whoa, these people here are crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm not like them, but because of the grace of God, I realize that we all fall short of the glory of God. But God has to wash you in the blood so you can see where you're going to. So once he washed me in the blood, I got out of that hospital. And I built this little company. But I'm going to tell you this little story, the reason I decided to run, because I said, one thing that's not going to happen, I'm not going to let Senator Warnock divide my family. And all you are my family. I don't care what color you are, you're my family, and I'm not going to let him divide my family. So I always tell this little story before any of my speeches, and you're going to get it, because it's about this guy that died early in life. He died early in life, and as he got to heaven, St. Peter met him at the pearly gates. And St. Peter says, sir, you're a little bit early right now, that your name ain't on the roll. So you're the only one in history that's going to get an opportunity to decide where you want to go. So I'm going to take you to heaven and I'm going to take you to hell, and you get to decide what you want to do. So he puts him in this elevator and he takes him all the way down to hell. And the doors open up and there's a party going on. People are having a good time. They're like singing and laughing. And he sees some of his friends down there. He's just having a great time. And after a couple of hours, St. Peter came to him and said, you ready to go? You ready to go? Say, I got to leave now. He said, yes, you got to make a decision. So he puts him in this elevator, takes him all the way up to heaven. They get to heaven and there are people floating around on clouds, having a good time. And after a couple of hours, St. Peter came to him and said, have you made your mind up? Have you made your mind up? And the guy said, well, St. Pete, I hate to tell you this. I think I want to go to hell. So that seemed like my type of place down there. I want to go to hell. And St. Peter said, you sure? He said, yeah. So he puts him in this elevator. He takes him all the way back down to hell, and the doors open up now. It's hot. People are crying. They're just having a miserable time. And the guy said, wait a minute. A couple of hours ago, when I was here, there was a party going on. Satan shows up and said, a couple of hours ago, I was campaigning. And the reason I tell you that is right now, you see a lot of people on the left are campaigning. The guy I'm running against is campaigning. He's lying to you. I hope y'all saw last Friday night he was lying. Yeah, last Friday night he became Scooby-Doo, didn't he? They asked him a question and he go, oh no. And I said, that's what you got to do. Right now, for a moment as this, the Lord has prepared me. Because he's told me that it ain't the color of your skin, but the content of your character. And God don't know the color of your skin, he knows your heart. But the guy I'm running against only talks about the color of your skin. I'm like, no, not in my house. And then he want to throw some of the Bible verses out at me, thinking that that's convenient for him. He don't know that I was born in the church, that I know those Bible verses. You got to read a little bit more. He always want to throw Matthew 25, that when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. But he didn't read that when they needed a home, I didn't evict you, because he evicted people that needed a home. And then he got upset. He got upset and started blaming me. And I'm saying, don't blame me, blame yourself. He said, it's Herschel's fault. And then he said hey, don't do this to Dr. King. Don't do this to Congressman Lewis. They got nothing to do with it, Senator. Don't bear false witness. You know, you're that wolf in sheep's clothing. Quit trying to run from your duties. It's time for us to get leaders in Washington that's going to be respectful. Get leaders in Washington that's going to stand up for truth. Because, hey, I can tell you this, I'm not that politician. I'm not a politician. Don't look like one, don't sound like one, don't act like one, because I'm that warrior that God has prepared. He's prepared me to get him out of that office. Because what he's doing right now is not right. What he's doing right now is not right, because I'm going to tell you, and the Senator Blackburn told you he voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time. And he got mad when I kept saying 96% of the time. And I'm like, okay, you voted with him 96% of the time, or you didn't know what you were doing. Which one you want to pick? You pick it. 96, or you don't know what you're doing, because all of a sudden right now we're headed in the wrong direction. Y'all seen it. Who decided to defund the police? That was a stupid idea. Wait. Can't say stupid because it's not politically correct. That's a dumb idea. They shouldn't have never defunded the police. Whoever thought of that? Now the morale, the recruitment is down in our law enforcement. Only because we got senators in Washington like Senator Warnock that want to call them names, bullies and thugs. That's what he's doing. And even in the debate, y'all heard him. He said, no, I didn't do that. I never done that. They support me. No, they don't. They don't support you. They support Herschel Walker. Because when I threw this on them, now everybody getting upset with this. No, this is real. This is not a prop. This is what they gave me because they support me and I support them. Right now, we got to support our men and women in blue. Hey, Senator Warnock, I call him a Marxist. And y'all don't know what a Marxist is? A Marxist don't believe in the police. They believe in abolishing the police. They believe in abolishing the court system. He thinking about no cash bails. That means you're not holding people accountable. Even in the great garden of Adam and Eve, God said, from this place you have total freedom. But if you touch or eat from this tree here, you will surely die. They were held to responsibility. He believes in opening their prison and letting the prisoners out. And the only people to be running free are the prisoners. We'll be prisoners in our own home. That's Senator Warnock. That's what he believes. He believes a lot in spending your money, don't he? He loves to spend someone else's money, but yet he's making a lot of money. His salary has gone up. And he's evicting poor people from this house and say, I didn't do that. This Herschel's fault. Not my fault, Senator. It's your fault. Do not bear false witness there, Senator. Do not bear false witness, because that's what he's doing. That wolf in sheep clothing is coming out the show right now. And then he just want to talk all the time. I done this and I done this. He hasn't done anything. He went to Washington and forgot about Georgia. And then talking about who's lying. He lying because he went to Washington and said he was going to represent you. And what did he do? He represented Joe Biden. He went to Washington and said he was going to take care of you. What did he do? He raised your taxes and spend your money. He went to Washington and said he was going to speak for women. What did he do? He went and put men in women's sports. He's the one lying. Y'all know he's lying. And now he asked for 6 more years. I can only put up with 2. Now he wants 6. We can't do 6 more years with you, Senator. It is time for you to go. And I think we need a chance. You don't need to go right now. I'm going to call him Wrecking Ralph. Let's call him Wrecking Ralph, because ever since he's been into office, he's been wrecking everything. No, we're going to call him the Grinch. We're going to call him the Grinch because he's continuing to take from everybody. And yet he's getting rich. And they ask me why I'm running because I'm sick and tired of this. And then we're going to go to our military. We got to go to our military because that's the reason we're the greatest country in the world. Is we have the greatest military in the world. Our servicemen and women. But yet, we got people in Washington that had forgot about it. Now they're talking about pronouns, bringing pronouns into our military. Pronouns? What the heck is a pronoun? My pronoun's sick and tired of y'all talking about pronouns. What I want you to do is make our men and women strong again. The way you make them strong is forget about talking about pronouns. Because I can tell you this, Iran, Russia, and China are not talking about pronouns. How do you identify? And they're not talking about trying to charge a tank in the desert either. They're talking about war, and we're over here talking about charging a tank in the desert. There's an electricity tank. That won't work. We need to get it through our head that it's time to put strong leaders in Washington that are going to support our military. They're going to support our military. They're going to be peace through strength. But if we don't support our military, we'll have no strength and we'll have no peace. It is time for us to get behind our military. And I will tell you about spending money. Oh, yeah, I love to spend someone else's credit card, don't you? He was bragging about how he went to the president to tell the president to get this student loan. And I'm like, well, I didn't co-sign for nobody's loan. Did y'all co-sign for somebody else's loan? I never co-signed, and he signed a big bill. I don't know if this bill is $400 billion. That's a lot of money, Senator. So why are you putting me on somebody else's bill? He thinking he just want to get a vote. He's trying to trick you. He's this magician now. He like wanting you to look at this hand as he steal from you from this hand, because what he's doing is raising your taxes. So don't think he's giving you anything. I'm like, Senator, you're not giving me nothing. You want to fill your pockets up. You're that thief that we were talking about. Why you think God prepared me? He prepared me because he knew I'm not afraid of him. I'm going to tell him, you're doing wrong, Senator. I hope y'all saw it this past Friday night. He couldn't even talk when they started getting on him. And they were telling me, this old country boy here. I'm this country boy that didn't know what I was talking about, wasn't I? But he didn't know what he was talking about either. He didn't know anything. So right now, the best one for that seat is Herschel Walker. Y'all know that. It's Herschel Walker. And then, wait. Now, let's talk about this border for a moment. Because you remember a couple of months ago, everyone was down at the border. And now they ran away from that responsibility. They're making excuses. We don't need excuses. We need solutions. So it's time to get leaders that come up with solutions, not excuses. And one of the problems we got is, guys, Halloween is right around the corner. And now the people of China and Mexico are dressing fentanyl up to look like candy. So I want you to be very vigilant when you're taking your kids on Halloween, because there's a new war in town. And that war is China. That war is China, because China don't like us. That's one thing that I don't think Senator Warnock and Joe Biden realize, that when somebody's called your enemies, that means they don't like you. So he need to learn that the definition of enemy means they don't like you. The definition of terrorist means they don't like you. Why are they negotiating with Iran? They don't even know the definition of a woman. They still trying to discuss what's the definition of a woman. But I'm going to tell you this, a man can't get pregnant. We need to let you know that he can't get pregnant. I'm going to answer that question for all of them. So let's get that out of our mind. What we need to be talking about is the crime on the streets. And can you believe that the crime on the streets is because of Senator Warnock and Joe Biden? It has gotten worse since they've been in office. And he asked them for 6 more years. Are he kidding? Is he kidding us? It is time for us to get leaders in Washington that's going to stand up for the people. That's going to stand up for people. Guys, I got nothing in this race except my family. And I will protect my family. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to protect my family, because I will lower your taxes. I can tell you that. I secure that border. I'll tell you that. And I'll make your streets safe. I'll tell you that. And then this is another one. This really make me angry here, because they're trying to take your kids. Think about this, what they're trying to do. And then when you get involved, they call you domestic terrorists. Like, are you serious? They're trying to take your kid and indoctrinate your kid. You know, right now our kids are behind. It's because of Senator Warnock and Joe Biden. Because they ravished at putting our kids, and they could have sent them to school. They had the money to send them to school, but yet they kept them out. Now our kids are behind. But see, now they want to teach them critical race theory instead of reading and writing. They want to teach them like gender identification instead of math. They want to teach them about, we need to put security guards in the schoolhouse rather than 87,000 RS agents that's going to come after you. Why did they get security guards and put them there? And they talking about something else. But let me tell you this. See, he talks about all the things that he's done. And he's done a good job, I think, being a pastor. No, he hasn't, because he said the wrong thing there, too. Because what he said is America need to apologize for its whiteness. Y'all need to stay with me here, because there's a lot of stuff this man has done that he need to be accountable for today. And I'm here because I'm his judgment that is coming. And I'm knocking on his door saying, Senator, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to get out of the people's seat. Time for somebody to sit there that's going to represent Georgia. And that's Herschel Walker. Because what he said, this is what he said, when he said America need to apologize for its whiteness. I'm like, where is he from? That's not written in my Bible. Have y'all seen that in your Bible you read? So he's just thinking up things, putting it in the Bible, think it's in the Bible. I'm saying, sir, why don't you read the whole Bible? Quit taking little things out. And unless you read the whole Bible, it's no good to you. Because what you're trying to do is to use the Bible as convenience. That doesn't work. What you need to be reading is how you can redeem yourself, because you do need to redeem yourself. People haven't heard about what you did for those kids at that camp. Let's not talk about that. We're going to talk about him as a senator. He's not just done it at the camp, but he's been an office senator too. Right now, it is time that us get leaders in Washington that's going to do the right thing. Let's go back to this border for a moment. I was asking someone this, and you may not know this. Do you know 70% of the drugs coming from the southern border goes through Atlanta, Georgia? 70% of the drugs goes through Atlanta, Georgia, which means we got crime, which means we got leaders that don't want to talk about it. And let me tell you something else. Can you believe Senator Warnock, who's a pastor? He's a pastor. And he said a woman could kill her baby all the way up to 9 months. And he even said this, if a baby survives an abortion, he would deny that baby medical care. That's Senator Warnock. How extreme is that? And yet he got to come to me with that. And I said, hey, Senator, you must know that there's someone else in the room, because he tried to get slick. You remember what he said? This is his words. He said, you know what? A doctor and a patient is the only two that can be in the room. We don't want the United States government. So I had to throw something on him. I said, well, Senator, do you know there's a baby in that room as well? There's a baby in that room too. So who's going to speak for the baby there, Senator? And then I had to throw something else at him, because he didn't tell you this. He also brought the government back in because he was trying to get all the taxpayers to pay for it. So like, quit trying to trick us with all your magic tricks. You're that wolf in sheep's clothing I've been talking about for a long time. That's the reason God prepared me, because he know I'm ready to face him down. And right now he's running behind. So he's been running all those $60 million things against me. Let me tell you, no weapon formed against me will prosper. He don't realize that yet. He don't even know how to spend his money there either, because he's wasting his money, because the race is either tied or I'm ahead of him by 1 or 2. That means he don't even know how to do that right either. I saw him running around the track, running backwards. I said, you keep running backwards. Why don't you start running forward so you can represent the people to the best of your ability, sir? And he hadn't done that yet either. So right now, I want to tell you guys, I love you. I love you. You're my family. And we're going to change this, but the way we change it, just don't start out with Herschel Walker. I want you to vote for me. I want you to tell 10 of your friends to vote for me, to tell 10 of their friends to vote for me. And if you don't have any friends, make some friends and get them to go vote for me. And I want you to tell them to go vote for anyone that believes in the United States of America, anyone that believes in the Constitution of the United States, anyone that believes in the people, because they don't seem to believe in the people, because they've been making us like we're second. And I'm going to tell you this. I heard somebody the other day telling us this is a new normal. Don't fall for that. This is not the new normal. This is not the new normal. We can become energy independent again. We can solve this crime problem by supporting our men and women in blue. We can solve a lot of this other thing in the schoolhouse by getting people. Wait. I just heard something. Do you know one of the largest funds of one of the largest donors to Senator Warnock campaign is the teachers union. So that's the reason he don't want the kids to get an education, because the teachers union has nothing to do with charter schools. Charter schools is where they can get an education. You want to put the money in the kid, not the institution. So he don't want to get behind those kids, so he said that he's for the kids. Quit trying to fool me, Senator. I know who you are. You're that wolf in sheep's clothing I've been talking about for a long time. It is time right now that we get a chance to change all this. Come November, we get a chance to change all this. It is time for us to lay down and stand up. And I tell people this, I would rather die standing up than to live on my knees. Because I remember, and I tell this about this flag right here. You remember, not long ago, because I was leaders, and I remember my father told me no, he meant no. There were no arguments about it. And when I got too big, my father said, if you don't like the rules underneath my roof, leave my house. Well, not long ago, Senator Warnock and all the people wanted to disrespect our United States flag. They wanted to disrespect our national anthem. And I spoke out, and I'm going to speak out again, because do they know what this stands for? Do they know how many people have died for this flag, for this anthem? Because you remember back when Francis Scott Key went over to the British ships to swap prisoners with the British. And when he got over there, the British captain said, Mr. Key, we're not going to swap prisoners with you right now. But what we would like for you to do is to lower that flag. And Mr. Key said, well, sir, I'm not sure if I can do that. He said, if you don't lower that flag, the British captain said, you see how many ships we got out here on this water, we would take that flag down because we're going to bomb it. And Mr. Key said, sir, you got to do what you got to do. When you hear in the national anthem, they talk about the red glare in the air. They're talking about the British ship flying that our flag. But what was funny, in that national anthem, you would hear that when daylight came and the air cleared, that flag was still there. Well, do y'all know why that flag stayed there? Because every time that flag got ready to hit the ground, a dead body laid against it to keep it up. Because it believed in the freedom and liberties we have here. Right now, they're trying to take it away. That honest trying to take it away. They're trying to take you down in that elevator. They tell you this is the new normal. Trying to fool you, lie to you, and tell you what's happening. You see it around you. You see everything around you. And it's time for us to stand up for our flag. It's time for us to stand up for our fellow man. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And people ask me why I'm running. I said, guys, if I got to fight alone, I'm okay. Because the Lord is with me. And I'm okay. Because I have seen a good time. And I'm not going to give it up. I want to just leave you with something. Because I've heard so many people talk about someplace else it's better. The United States of America is the greatest place in the world today. Is the United States of America. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. And because I'm always talking about being from the country, I had a friend to tell me this, and I throw it into my political speeches. And it's about this bull out in the field with 6 cows, and 3 of them are expecting calves. And the grass is all the way up to his kneecaps. And all this bull had to do was eat grass. But no. He kept his nose up against the fence, looking at 3 other cows in the other field that didn't belong to him. He thought they were better over there. But all he had to do was worry about what he got here. So that day came when he decided, I want to get over there, something better. And he measured that fence up. And he got back at a certain distance. And he took off running, and he dove over that fence, and the bottom of his belly got cut up from that fence. And he rolled over on the other side. He was so happy he was over there. He shook it off. But he ran up to the top of the hill where the 3 other cows were at. But when he got there, he realized they were bulls too. So don't think something is better somewhere else. It is time for us to stand up for what we got here. And the way we do it is come November. The way we do it is through early voting. And now, as I said earlier, not just vote for me, vote for anyone that believes in this country. Vote for anyone that believes in the Constitution. Because one of the things I need to tell you about Senator Warnock, he always talking about crossing the aisle. That's another magic trick and a lie. Because there's so many things Governor Kemp has tried to do. And Senator Warnock just stood back and let the Biden administration just tear it apart. And now I hear he bringing some people in to help him. I think y'all may have read it. I think he's bringing in the former President Obama, to help him. But don't boo. He was a former president, but he also was a president that said President Biden would F it up. I didn't say it. President Obama said it. And yet, Senator Warnock voted with him. So what did that mean? Senator Warnock is messing it up. God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much.